Do you have any better sense of where David is right now with his back?
We're going to try and work him in today and see where it goes. But I like the progress he's made, and hopefully that continues throughout the week.
Do you expect Trevor Williams to be able to come in and play a role right away? I know he was coming off an injury.
We're not sure yet. We're going to get him in, see how quickly he can kind of get adjusted and figure out our stuff and go from there.
Did make some roster moves. Can you talk about all of them that you made?
Can you give me some help there? There's a bunch of them.
Did you release Chris Jones?
Yeah, we released Chris. Some injuries, tough part of this business, but he did a good job for us, and hopefully we can get him back in some form.
Where are you at cornerback-wise with Tremaine not having, you lose a couple, you bring a guy in, but where are you at overall cornerback-wise?
Kevin stepped in and did a nice job the other day. We like how he's developed, and obviously Byron, and then bringing in Trevor. So shorthanded, but I feel good about where we're at.
Is there less pressure if you're shorthanded to make major changes there, knowing that you're getting Patrick back pretty soon?
Yeah, I think that's obviously a positive that even though we have some banged-up guys at that position, that we're getting him back soon, and so there's nothing drastic that needs to be done. And we know he's been working hard and ready to go.
Is it a negative that you're trying to stop Julio Jones without him?
Yeah, I think anytime you're trying to stop him, no matter who you have, it's going to be a tall task. He's phenomenal, and just watching the tape from this season, I've always watched him from afar, but then watching it on tape and really studying him, he's an absolute freak and plays hard every snap. You can tell he's passionate about the game and does everything right.
What do you think about the receivers overall?
Great group. Have a great chemistry with their quarterback. You can tell they've played together. And then schematically, they do some really good things. They challenge you in every way. They stretch the field and hurt you underneath. And each guy kind of has their own specific role, and they're really good at it.
Kliff, what's your level of concern with David's injury, and what does he have to show you this week to show he can play Sunday?
We're always going to make sure that player safety comes first and just make sure he can be full speed. If he's not full speed, we're not going to put him out there. We want him to be at his best, and he knows that.
Game time decision or what?
He's the type of player that it would be game time decision. We understand. He gets our system, and we can plug him in day of and feel good about him executing at a high level.
Is Christian coming along?
He's come a long way in a short time. I mentioned it last week. The injury did not look good when it happened, but he's really made some big strides, and we're going to try to work him back in there some today and see where it goes.
We kind of joked Monday a little bit about when you were talking about Kyler's best plays with the throwaways in the game, but how much, when you're teaching a quarterback, how much of coaching him and the learning curve is about not having the negative rather than the positive parts of it?
For him, he knows how to play the position. It's more so, I think, the speed of the game and understanding that it's happening a little bit quicker, and that time clock of when to get rid of it and when to make a play has to be adjusted, and that's going to be a year-long test for him. And it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel with him saying, hey, if you're going to take a sack, let's throw it away. He's done that since he was in third grade, but it's this game's moving quickly, and those guys close fast, and we've got to be able to stay on schedule as an offense.
When you were playing quarterback, whether it was college or trying to get in the pros, is that a harder thing for a quarterback to kind of wrap his head around? Is that
for me? I was slow on a pocket passer, so it was like that ball's coming out. If I had his ability, I'd be running around too. But no, like I said, he knows how to play position. He took very few negative plays in high school or college, and I expect that trend to go down as he adjusts the speed of the game and figures out what he can and can't get away with. And that's, that's rookie year. That's what you're supposed to do, is figure those things out.
You look at Anderson's defense similar to Seattle?
It is. You can definitely see that's where it stems from. They're mixing up coverages a little bit more, just like Seattle is. But he's a tremendous defensive mind. I first went against him when I was at Texas A&M. He was at Florida, and have always been impressed by him since that game. Just the way he carried himself, you see the interactions with the players. You just notice things like that, and he's had a heck of a run.
I'm curious to see how what you can do. Other teams have had plenty of success against that defense this year so far.
Yeah, last week I think was a bit of an anomaly. There were some plays that got out late. You know, they've been banged up, had some injuries, but that's a proud group. I mean, they're a couple years removed from the Super Bowl, and we know we're going to get their best shot. And you know, it's still a very formidable defense with some really, really good players on there.
When did it crystallize for you that using misdirection in the running game can be effective in addition to just the brute force of trying to knock guys back?
Yeah, I think everybody's been going that direction for quite some time. You see a bunch of these teams that have been successful. College teams have been doing it for quite a while in the Big 12, lots of those quick motions, and then you see it really get into the NFL quite a bit. And it just freezes linebackers' eyes, and that's what you're trying to do. If you can hold them for a half second, then that's in this league, that can be a big deal.
You mentioned Andy Monday. How much more would you like to get him involved in the passing part of the game?
We're working him in as, you know, week by week, trying to get him more involved. And he's working really hard at it, and it's going to happen. Once again, he's a rookie. We have some really good players in front of him, but I like where he's heading. It has nothing to do with us being disappointed. His work ethic's through the roof, and his talent's through the roof, and we'll get him going.
What can he do once he's integrated fully?
I mean, yeah, I think a guy that can play inside and outside, and once he really gets comfortable with all those positions, I've said it before, we probably slowed his development some by moving him around too much early, but got speed, got quickness, tough player, can really take the top off, and anytime he's on the field in any capacity, the defense has to know where he's at, and that's a plus for us.
Do you draw up running plays as often as you try to tinker with passing plays?
Every now and then, but I'm Coach Kugler and Coach Hayden, they do a big part of that run game, and I'll have ideas. Usually they're like, yeah, that's not going to work in the run game, but I try to dress things up off the run game.
Did you appreciate that your first win came with the most rushing yards, and also your two favorite plays were throwaways?
Yeah, I think that's about right for how the season's gone, you know. It's a tough league to win anyway, and I was just excited to get it done in whatever way we could.
What would your record be, you think, if you were a lot better with red zone touchdowns?
We're well below average, and so I try not to look back on record, but I just like looking at what it can be. I'm a half glass, half full guy, and where it can go. And so that's how I've approached that, is if we're at whatever 30% scoring touchdowns in the red zone, league average 55, if we can get up to 60 on this back half of the season, then we're rolling. And I think our team understands that.
What's the change, Kliff, in the red zone?
I mean, it starts with me, play design, play concepts, and then things just tighten up overall as an offense, all of us coaches and players. The windows get tighter, execution has to be tighter, base alignments, all the details. I think we're getting down there a bunch, and our focus has to increase. And I think that's a learned behavior for all of us. And once we all get on the same page, I expect it to get better.